Okay, we did it. All of the beautiful little intro stuff just played, and the recording is happening. Um, so we're here, we're live
Yo, yo.
for now. Um,
Fantastic.
Hopefully we don't get
what?
dead.
Huh? Hopefully, we'll
At
see.
least not
We'll
till
see.
part 2.
Oh, it depends on how your guys' roles are. Welcome to
Wonderful.
Skipping Through the Universe, a Baywatch RPG two-shot from Looking for Mom ttrpg. My name is Sydney, or Sid, or Shock. I've been on the channel before. I run a Brindlewood Bay campaign, and tonight we are doing Baywatch, the channel's first version of Baywatch. Spooky little two-parter here that combines your Baywatch sort of gonzo 90s television aesthetic with what none other than eldritch cosmic horrors. Uh, we're super pumped to bring this game, and I want to talk a little bit more about it in just a second. But before we get to talking about the system and Baywatch as a whole, which I've got right in front of me, I want to talk a little bit about what else we have going on our channel right now. You can watch actual plays of that Brindlewood Bay campaign that I mentioned, called As It Is Below. You can also watch actual plays of Alien, Humblewood 5e. We just wrapped Pirate Borg. We've got City of Mist going. Mothership has launched. And some of these games stream. So if you like to watch games in real time, subscribe to get those notifications. We've got one podcast out right now and a second on the way. Our first one being the Electric State RPG, which is a dark and gritty post-apocalyptic modern day setting ran by the fabulous GM Maya. You can find that wherever you listen to your podcast and also here on the channel as well. So subscribe, find out what else that we're doing here. But tonight, Baywatch. This system, I've ran it a few times now. It's very near and dear to my heart, as is any system that combines something with cosmic eldritch horror. It just seems to be the vibe. The little niche I'm carving out on this channel. But this Baywatch-meets-Cthulhu sort of game takes our lifeguards here that we're about to meet in a minute, and showcases them saving their beaches from elder gods and otherworldly monstrosities. You can purchase this game, either PDF or a hard copy, and I will rep the hard copy because it comes with these little bookmarks that have the character sheet on one side and then the rules on the other side. And they didn't pay me to do this. I just think that this is incredible, and what a great resource for your table. Plus, the book has really fun art. So there will be a link down below for you to check out this module, this game. It's based on the TriCube Tales system, which you can find a bunch of other build-outs for over on itch.io. Our artwork tonight, our icons for our players, are done by the lovely Artjulie, who plays in the Brindlewood Bay campaign, and you can find her information below. And then all other art will be linked below as well. Tonight we are playing through a module right out of the book, so if you are interested in running Baywatch, we're going to demo the second one in the book called Skipping Through the Universe. It's probably backwards for you, but it's the right way for me. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in just a second. But before that, let's get our shift sort of started today. Who do we have clocking in?
I'm Rio, pronouns she, her, and I'm sharing them with Valerie Van Vuren. And she's been on shift for the last couple of hours just to make sure everything's ready for everyone else. Likes to be prompt.
A vet through and through.
Hi, I'm Mel, any pronouns, and I'll be playing Samson, he, him, a former child star who's about to find out that being a real lifeguard is nothing like it was on TV.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm rounding out our shift today.
Hi, I'm Remy, they, them, and I'm playing Eddie, also they, them, and they are running purely on caffeine, spite, and the desperate need to make their thesis deadline.
I felt that through and through. Wonderful. My name is Sid. I will be our referee for this evening, and I am playing all the other people with varying pronouns and vibes and world experiences that we might meet tonight. This is our crew. This group here's second time ever playing Baywatch. So as our second time You might notice that we might go and discuss a rule and figure it out together. We might pause to understand how we might roll something. That's all right. That's a very natural part of playing. I might not cut that out because it could be useful for you. But it is our second time. So, with that being said, skipping through the universe, this module is the second one in the book, and its tagline for tonight: all hands on deck when fans of a late night paranormal call in radio show begin wandering into the ocean after dark. So, let's set the scene a little bit. Rewind the clock. You all worked earlier today. It was a normal day in Sunset Hills, meaning that there were all manners of kids running to and fro, older people with sand all over them from getting roasted in the sun, teenagers getting up to all sorts of antics, trash from the boardwalk you've had to pick up, tide pools you've had to make sure no one messes with too much. But one by one, no matter if you worked the morning, afternoon, or evening, you all had your day at work, your full hours. Nothing too crazy really happened today, thankfully. And we're going to come up on each of you as you spend your night away from work. We're going to go in our same order, I think, that we introduced ourselves in. So we're going to start with Valerie Van Vuren. Valerie, it is nighttime. You are not working, a rarity. What do we find you doing?
Well, tonight she's gonna be at the Captain Bob's Crab Hut. At least for now, she's grabbing something to eat before she heads over to the Medusa nightclub because it's, it's a nice place, but the food not so much. It's a bit down on the vibes for her. So she's at the Crab House right now.
Makes sense. Ever since Shu Parker Jr. bought out the Medusa nightclub to make his own independent wealth from his father, the food has really gone downhill in a sort of eclectic way. It's not even that they're trying weird things and it works. It's just bad. So you're at Captain Bob's Crab Hut. What's Val's go-to order at Captain Bob's?
Ask if they've brought the catfish back. They still haven't for the past 10 years, but she's still asking for it. And after that, she's just going for, a normal one, a little like basket of lobster fries, basically,
Yeah. Well, it ain't no catfish,
It ain't no
Valor,
catfish.
but we do have this, and you guys go through this ritual every so often. Go ahead and roll me a 2d6, and let me grab a first name for this person I'm inhabiting right now.
Alrighty. Oh, I have these dice pulled up somewhere. There it is. Boom. 3 and 1.
3 and 1. Classic Jake.
Jake.
This is a Jake. Jake. Jake works pretty much every shift. Jake is the veteran of the Captain Bob's.
Exactly my thoughts. I love Jake. We've been together for 15 years now. I'm still remembering him when he started off. Honestly, it's great to see Jake. I have to give him just a little bit of something back and forth here,
Of course.
It's a
And you
ritual.
think that maybe Jake's acne would finally clear up if he ever stopped working at Captain Bob's Crab Hut, but that might not happen. So
It's the Friars. What do you do, right?
he's got a little paper hat and hands you your lobster fries. He goes, well, how was the waters today? Catch any fish?
Listen, all right. One day I'm gonna head back to my hometown, and actually get some catfish. But no, out here there's like nothing actually interesting to me for like eating. I mean, there's some interesting stuff out there, sure, but eating wise, I don't think I'd recommend eating anything out of the sea there.
We get
I
our
mean,
stuff imported from like Wisconsin.
and that is why I eat here. All right. Listen, I think old Shoe's getting his stuff local, if you know what I mean. All right.
Oh shit.
I
There's ordinances about that.
Well, I mean, It's Shoe, you know? What are you gonna do? Still, the Medusa's still a great place for a good dance every once in a while. I'm looking forward to actually relaxing tonight, you know?
Oh, there you go. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Shu, he's a few fries short of combo. Um, but
Yeah.
I guess I didn't really take you as like a type to sort of cut loose. You feel
I
like
mean,
you're
what do you
so. I mean, you still have your walkie-talkie on.
Well, I mean, you always gotta listen, all right? Always being prepared. Listen, this is like the whole conversation of being safe versus being careful, all right? Just because I'm off the clock doesn't mean I can't be prepared for anything, all right? I mean, what if something actually does go wrong and I need to be called in? Gotta
And
have the
then,
walkie.
as you say that, uh, the walkie starts chirping.
Just snap right at me, all right?
Jake just
You
pushes
said
your
it. You
basket
jinxed
forward.
me, all right, Jake? This is it.
um, and our scene audio sort of cuts out here is that you pull the walkie up, and we just hear murmurings of what is coming through as you're getting your lobster fries. And Valerie Van Vuren, the name pops up as if this was a television show, and our camera hard cuts there from Captain Bob's Crab Hut. And we come to Samson. Samson, it is nighttime here in Sunset Hills. You worked a long shift of learning how to be a lifeguard, observing lifeguardly duties. Um, how do you spend your evening?
So this evening, Samson retreated to his old beat up van parked near that southern side of the beach. Um, he's totally not living there. He's just hanging out there overnight, like a sleepover. Um,
Right.
it's been a long day. He's sort of lounging inside. The door's propped open so you can see the sea, and it's quite cluttered inside, but it's nice and cozy. Um, he spends most of the evening here a lot of time avoiding um avoiding a lot of the sort of busy spots. He doesn't get recognized all the time since since being on TV show as a kid, but some people still recognize him as his character Sonny, and it's just enough that it's frustrating and a little bit annoying, especially Shu Jr. or whatever his name was, and one day I'll remember it, but not today.
He
Um,
remembers your name.
he remembers my name. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
He specially recognizes me, and it's frustrating. So, he's having a moment to relax, no acting, no pretending to be anything, just him and the sound of the waves.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 and let's grab a different first name as an old VW bus pulls into this sort of southern lot here.
Got a 3 and a 1.
That's the same. That's the same. Go again.
A 1
It
and a
can't
3.
be another Jake.
Can it be a 1 and a 3?
It can. Yeah,
Every single guy in this town is called Jake.
except for Shu Parker Jr., the rest are Jake. Incredible. An old VW bus sort of rattles in. There's definitely something wrong. You can hear it, like in the way that should this get serviced or is it a workaround? We're not sure. But it comes into the lot and you hear the sounds of, the little someone getting out and putting a parking brick out and starting to pop the top of this van. Presumably to also have a sleepover in the parking lot at the southern end of the beach. Um, as people love to do. And eventually they head your way. A little rap on a window of your van as a woman, probably in her 30s to 40s, mouse brown hair, tons of freckles, definitely has been outside all day. Maybe she was at the beach earlier, sort of knocks on your window.
Samson sort of like leans out the door that he's it's like his feet have been like hanging out. You know, he's sort of like leaning back on an absurd amount of like piles of blankets and cushions because not that he sleeps here, it's just for comfort.
It's for coziness.
Very comfy.
And he sort of leans out and he's like, can I help you?
Yeah, you got a light?
And it takes him a moment, like he's like, no, yeah, okay. And he like reaches back and grabs him. He's like, yeah, here you go.
Ah, thanks.
No problem.
And,
Nice evening.
Huh?
It's a nice evening, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Blows smoke. I mean, it can't get much nicer than this. Do you camp here in this lot often? I think it's the first time I've seen you.
Just, you know, I move around a lot.
Oh, you're one of those nomad types.
Can't go too far. I do have a job here.
Oh, lucky
new
you
hire.
with a job. Are they hiring? What do you do?
I'm a lifeguard at the beach. I'm training currently.
So this beach, and she points, the 100 feet in front of the both of you where the beach is.
Yep, that's the one.
Huh.
Why does it seem so unbelievable?
Oh no, it's just that I don't know.
Great.
Well, thanks for the light. I'm Amy. Blows
Yes,
smoke again.
Yes, nice to meet you. Hope you have a good evening.
Oh, I will. She gives you a wink and tosses your lighter back at you and heads back over to her van where you hear the radio just get cranked. As she has her windows rolled down and you're hearing a local station, KTLU, is playing, and it moves from just like heavy death metal over into its next hour of programming, which is Skip Lipkiss in Skipping Through the Universe, his sort of talk show here. It's about, I would say we're nearing on 9-10 p.m. at night at this point. You hear the buttery soft vocals. This is Skip Lipkiss here with Skipping Through the Universe, telling you, think further. Coming up next, Bigfoot.
I love it. No, I can imagine Sam, he like heard that like cool opening line. He was like about to turn the radio on so he could hear it better, and then he hears the absolute turn into just, and now Bigfoot, and he's like, okay, never mind. He shuts the door of his van so he doesn't quite hear how it continues.
That's why it cuts off. You shut the door of your van. Incredible. I think after, maybe you've just dozed back off on your pile of blankets for coziness and nothing else that you have here in your van, when your on-call radio starts beeping. Your walkie-talkie, each one of you has an on-call one. The lifeguard force is terribly understaffed, so you take shifts being on-call for any night duties. It is a good extra pay, which might be useful for some of you. But yeah, your on-call radio starts alerting.
So, like, you like kind of like wake up from like a nap and you're a bit groggy and you're like, where am I? Who am I? What planet is this? Okay, and then he's sort of like feeling around. He's definitely got it somewhere in this pile of just junk. Like rifles through a few like empty like packets of stuff, and he's like, oh, got it. Hello?
Yeah, as you grab it and pull it up, in your sleepy stupor, the audio sort of fades from this moment and the camera zooms out. We see Samson's name pop up on screen, but as our camera zooms out, we see shadows of figures moving past this parking lot towards the beach, including the in the headlights of the Volkswagen van, Amy, who you had met earlier, walking towards the beach. But our camera moves now, and we find yet another member of the lifeguard staff of Sunset Hills. Eddie, how are you spending this night?
Well, as much as they would like to be relaxing on their rare sort of night off, Eddie is in grad school and they really don't get that luxury. So Eddie is in their crappy little apartment that they're subletting, and apartment is really a stretch. It's honestly, it was marketed as a one bedroom. It's effectively a studio. There's like a half wall in the middle, and that's it. But that half wall has been converted into a bit of a desk. There's like a couple of milk crates forming a stool that they're sitting on, and it's just covered in textbooks. There's a laptop, 3 different coffee mugs, all of them still with some coffee in them. If any of it is still hot, they're not going to know till they pick one up. They don't know which one they made last. Not sure when they slept last, but it was probably at least 3 coffee cups ago. Some marine biology textbooks are out. There's also a book that has a really weird cover on it that almost looks like fish scale, but wrong. And then like another one has like a pentagram on it, and this is all piled together around a laptop that they are staring at, and their fingers are on the keyboard and completely zoned out, lost all track of what they were doing. They're just kind of staring dead at the laptop.
What's
You've been
Eddie's
there.
thesis over?
Oh, don't do this to me, Sid. On the effects of lingering eldritch energies on the local marine ecosystems.
Gotcha.
I
Perfect.
don't. Remy doesn't know marine biology or occult studies.
All
Just to be
right.
perfectly clear here.
Eddie does, though, so
Eddie
we can-
does, to a point that their professors are very concerned.
your screen stares back at you as you and this laptop have had the same interaction nearly every night that you haven't been working, just trying to get this done. Your due date looms ahead of you, marching ever forward, and yet the document does not scroll very many pages. As you're trying to put an argument together here based off of what you've researched here in Sunset Hills, area notorious for odd things happening with the local ecosystem.
You stare into
Like-
the void, and the void stares back, and what is an empty essay page but another void?
Amen. Oh, bless you, Mel. I got you. When you get a text from another like student at your school.
Oh, what time is it? Oh, damn,
You
I
know,
haven't.
it would be shocking if it wasn't a pre-med student who they also do not sleep. This is Vanessa Lamb, who has also minored in occult studies and so has pre-med on the top, occult studies underneath, and has been known to procure a text or two for you upon request times before. Vanessa shoots you a message. Are you listening to the radio right now?
They reach out and grab one of the 3 mugs of coffee, down what's in it like a shot, and grimace, indicating this was definitely not the most recent, at least lukewarm one. And then picks up their phone and typing is like, no, with like 4 question marks after it. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to write.
Ew.
Why?
You get in response.
Well, yeah, duh, but I didn't say I was successful. What?
Turn on
Why?
KTLU.
Okay. And they scroll over to an app on their phone and pull it up.
Yeah, you pull up the radio, and you get another ding from Vanessa saying, I think he's finally off his rocker. as the radio pings on and you hear the buttery voice of Skip Lipkiss. And there I was, laying flat on the table, all of these other life forms peering down at me as if I was going to be their savior. And Skip is narrating a story, or not really a story. He seems rather convinced this is his experience of his own alien abduction.
Just Eddie's eyebrows are slowly rising further up their forehead. So he texts Vanessa back. You know, when I started listening, I thought he'd just finally gotten some improv classes, but what the fuck?
You send that Skip is playing in the background. I had to swim back ashore after they crash landed, and I believe the best hope for humanity is out there at the beach. And at that point, your on-call radio starts blaring.
What? I stumble to my feet and save my document, even though there's only been 5 words added.
It's
and
the
what is
SpongeBob "the" at the top.
Probably did it to try and spark something earlier. It's if you just start writing something, more words will come. And no, it didn't work. But hurriedly saving the document and everything, and they reach out to text Vanessa back real quick. I've got to go. I've been called to work, and this is not filling me with confidence. Thanks.
You just
Please
get
sleep.
"see you there."
Wait, what? And they send that to presumably no response, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And our scene fades and we're cutting right to the action. The 3 of you arrive to Sunset Hills Beach, though Samson probably first by, I don't know, just being geographically close. Who's to say? But Samson, Valerie, and Eddie all arrive at the beach. You're able to grab any lifeguard gear from the hut on your way. There are a few more lifeguards here, but they're all newer than Samson, which means they are not going to be much help. And that's saying something. As the scene unfolds in front of you, underneath the turning of Lookout Point Lighthouse's light and the reflection off the buoys and the lights that stay on no matter what time of night here, Sunset Hills Beach, there are a number of people trying to wade into the water. Radios, boom boxes, phones, cars, all blaring KTLU, the station local here in Skip Lipkiss, talking and convincing people to go and dredge out the saviors of humanity from the water here. And he's becoming, what once was a buttery voice is becoming more animated and belligerent. He actually, instead of talking real down low like this, like he's a jazz guy, he's starting to actually get tone and inflection in his voice for the first time in a bit. As a number of people, figures you see ahead, have waded at least chest deep. Being in the water late at night is an incredible safety risk. Even if they weren't trying to find something underneath all of the waves. And there's a boat still trying to dock from outside excursions out to the island. Also out here beyond the buoys, and it could go from bad to worse real quick. If not for your intervention here, or at least what we hope to be, as we spring into action, I need each of you to roll me 1d6 so I can determine some folks here. And then we're going to get right to what are you trying to do in this moment? As a 5, a 1, and another 1. Valerie, would you re-roll for me? 4.
Fours?
Perfect. A 5, 4, and a 1. Wonderful. Let's go around the room. You guys seeing a number of figures. At least, we'll say there's 4, because I also said that Amy was wandering this way earlier after her conversation with Samson in the parking lot. 4 people who are chest deep right now in the water, wading in. Let's go in sheet order here. Eddie. It's dark, there's
Okay.
water. What are you doing?
Okay. I'm assuming that the lifeguard towers along the beach probably have some floodlights or something equipped for emergency situations. So Eddie is going to call out towards the others. I'm assuming that they can see they're arriving roughly in time with other lifeguards.
Yeah, and you guys all have walkie-talkies.
Yeah, right. Thank you. I'm gonna get some lights on. We need to get the people out, but we are not much good if we can't see either. So Eddie is going to run, going to go turn on the nearest set of floodlights, and then call out to some of the really, really fresh rookies, and get them to go along and do the same further along the beach. And then
Before you go further, let's roll for these floodlights. I don't know if you've ever had to turn them on before and know the proper procedure. As you get to the hut closest to you, this is clearly the rookie hut because it's everything in here is a disarray. There's ring buoys on the ground, lifeguard fanny packs with the like resuscitation masks out and then put on dummy heads like their hats. Streamers for some reason, and so many empty chip bags as you find the breaker box that you could flip. And in the rookie hut, nothing is labeled. So
Sorry.
Eddie is so gonna set Valerie on you later.
as you run into this, almost trip on a ring buoy, you get to the breaker box, open it up. Nothing is labeled. Let's do a roll to see if you can figure out the right one without making things worse. So this will be a crafty roll. And I'm going to put the difficulty at a 4. This won't be, I don't think, super hard to do. There aren't many things powered in the hut. But it is dark and unlabeled. All right, Eddie. You've just opened it up. All blank. We're going to roll. You get a die for doing the thing. A die because it matches your key stat, which is crafty, and this is a crafty roll. But I don't think you get a die because your roll, the weirdo, doesn't really help you here for figuring out a breaker box.
And sadly, studying the occult doesn't magically mean I can see in the dark.
It doesn't. I'm so sorry. So you have 2d6, and you're trying to hit a 4 or higher. Now, if you want, you could use your perk. If you can reason out why marine biology might help you, you could lower that difficulty, or you could make the difficulty higher if you can figure out how being aquaphobic might hinder you with this breaker box. Or you can just roll 2d6 and try to hit a 4.
I think I'm just gonna start with a flat roll this time, and we'll see. We'll see if this sets a tone for how I roll tonight. Let's sure as hell hope not. That's a 1 and a 2.
Oh, ripperoni.
Okay.
So, Eddie, how does this go poorly for you? I'll let you narrate, and I'm going to tack a little bit on. So you rip open this breaker box. Nothing is labeled in the rookie hut. What happens instead of what you want?
You mentioned when Eddie entered that they nearly tripped. I'd say as they approached the breaker box and got it open, like they shifted to adjust their weight and like managed to step partially on someone's like someone dropped their fanny pack on the floor and they're stepping on the end of the little clip, which isn't quite the same as stepping on a Lego, but is still very painful. And they like jolt and accidentally bump into like 3 of the breakers at once. And they hear it's like one of them doesn't seem like it's too bad. There's a little like mini fridge in the corner, and the little background hum from that they hadn't really even noticed just kind of stops. Then I'd say
I'll do the other ones.
Cool, this can't possibly go poorly for me.
Yeah, the mini fridge cuts. I think the second one, the like fan that was in here, also stops. The third
Okay.
one, you hear a loud pop, as all of these huts had like not a floodlight, but just like a low level light. And across the beach, the remaining lights all cut out, because they were wired together. Of course, it's Sunset
That
Hills.
is bad electronics.
On the outside, Valerie and Samson, you have even less light to work with. And saving these people is going to get harder now.
Right. Good luck, guys.
All
I
right.
might have an idea.
Yeah.
I want to use my vans and like park it up on the way and use the headlights to shine some light to help people. And it's also be like a sort of safe direction as well. So it's sort of like a reverse lighthouse, you know. It's like, do go towards the light.
Yeah. So you want to it sounds like you want to set your van lights up and then like direct people to follow that instead.
Yeah. I think,
Okay.
like sort of set it up and then sort of just usher people towards, maybe just do a big like a good like yell over here, but like really like deep and guttural, like as loud as he can go.
Okay. Absolutely. So this will also be a crafty roll because you are trying to convince these people. You get a d6 for doing the thing. You do not get a d6 because crafty is not your key stat.
He's buff. He's not smart. It's okay.
If you can tell me how your roll helps, you could get another d6. And then your van's going to help you, of course, by using a luck point.
Okay, so that's for the van. I think for the rookie, I reckon definitely it's that sort of it describes it as, you know, you've got drive, vigor, and moves no one's seen before. And I think I have the unique ability to never do anything properly via procedure ever. Always go terribly at that. But the second I try and do something the wrong way, it works pretty well, I reckon. I'm doing things my own way. Fog lights are what you're supposed to do. I can't go try and fix that. I didn't even go to that part of the training. I fell asleep during that class, I think.
That's right. Your headlights are a little dirty, so it'll work the same.
Yeah.
So you get a d6 then to do the thing, and then a d6 for your roll stat. Your van doesn't give you a third d6.
No, yes.
Your van is going to lower the difficulty here.
Got it.
So if you would move your luck, everyone starts with 3 luck points. For those of you at home, we're going to move that luck down to 2 because you are using this van to lower your difficulty by having a way to direct these people. Let's see. It was going to be trying to hit a 5 because there were no lights in there wading ever deeper. But because you're using your van, now you only need to hit a 4. So 2d6 trying to hit a 4.
Okay. Please. A 4 and a 5.
Okay. That's 2 successes. With that, of these 4 people, I think Amy turns around probably because she's just the closest. And you rolled a 1, right? Earlier.
Yes.
Okay. A sort of young, maybe 19 or 20-year-old guy sort of turns around as well and blinks, and he's up to water here. Right. What am I even? And they both start wading out of the water. So of our 4 people, you've managed to turn 2 of their heads with your van lights and yelling as they start coming out of the water. And we're going to leave you in this moment while you're thinking about what you're going to do next. And our camera cuts to Valerie. Valerie, the lights have just gone off. Van lights are suddenly here. You hear Samson yelling. The rookies are not at all useful, except for Samson right now. What are you doing?
Well, I'm reviewing the situation. Very proud, honestly. I mean, not of all the rookies. Samson, clearly, absolutely excellent improvisation under pressure, and excellent initiative from Dear Eddie. There does seem like they're suffering from electrical failures, but I have faith they'll figure this out. They're very smart. I've seen it before. They'll do it again. I'm complete confidence. And it looks like Samson's already pulling out some people. Very proud of him. I'm going to give him a little clap. Go, yeah, excellent work, Samson. Honestly, shoot him a little salute. And I'm just going to walk up to the water here. I'm just going to try to wrestle the other people out of there. Just get the rest of them out of there since they're still just vibing around. Make sure they don't go back in either. That's the important part.
Okay, so you're trying to. There are two people left. You see, actually, you might know one of them,
Oh,
Elaine
no.
Dean. She's about 50. You know Elaine. She self-proclaimed cryptid hunter. Um, she's got what looks
Yeah.
like some sort of contraption on her back to catch something. What that thing might be, you'll have to ask her.
Mm.
And she's swimming at this point.
Oh.
And then further out from her is uh, just some other guy. Luckily, not Jake from Captain Bob's Crab Hut, because he's too busy working. He's good,
Yeah.
but
Jake
Elaine
could
and
never be a
someone
human.
else further out. So let's roll for
Uh,
Elaine first. She's
all right.
closer. So you're swimming out there to try to grab her.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that feels like it's agile to me. So
Lickety
you get a
split.
d6 for doing the thing, a d6 because it matches your key stat, and I would say getting out in the water and saving people is a pretty veteran move to do when you're a lifeguard. Um, so that's 3d6. The difficulty here is 5. If you want to use any perks or quirks, you are welcome to.
Mm. Um, I mean, I'm just going for like one person. I don't really think I need to try to knock her out. That seems a bit rude, plus dangerous since we're, swimming and stuff. Not the time to punch people out. I mean, unless she puts up a fight, then, we'll see where it goes from there. All right. We take it by year, honestly.
Sounds good. All
Mhm.
right. So 3d6, you need to hit a 5 to pull Elaine out the water.
All right. I got myself a 6.
Incredible. What does it look like?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be careful because I don't. Last time I saw this contraption, it wasn't electric. But I want to make sure that I can like, when I'm going to swim up under her and just sort of try to like get her over my shoulder and make sure that the contraption stays above water just in case. She can come up with some pretty impressive stuff herself. Not quite as impressive as Eddie, of course, but I've seen some crazy stuff from her before. So we're going to try to keep this safe and just sort of try to swim her back. I hope the other guy doesn't get too far while I'm doing this.
Yeah. Elaine grumbles the entire time. As soon as you sort of grab her,
Uh,
she goes, "Oh my God, but there's something out there. I'm supposed to be getting at it. I want first dibs on whatever it's supposed to be." And she's making it harder. You're, of course,
mm,
stronger, but
yeah. All right, Elaine. All right, listen. All right, when we get this thing, whatever it might be, dragged up, I'm gonna make sure to have you here. All right. We want that
you
contraption of
better.
yours to be able to help us bring it in. Okay. I do appreciate you bringing it. Now let's get you back onto that beach though, and leave this to the professionals, maybe.
What a
Gassing her
veteran
up.
move to compliment her the whole way while you're taking her away from danger. Incredible. Yeah, you pull her out, and you're right, it would help you. And thank you for considering me. Not everyone's going to take me seriously. Last time I talked to the police, they literally said you should be committed, and I said I am committed to catching the cryptids. And they didn't get it, but you get the vision. I'll wait
Absolutely.
here for you.
Thank you much. All right. We appreciate your commitment. Give her a salute.
She salutes back. Um, and our camera shifts now. We've got one more person in the water. Eddie, how's it going in the rookie shed?
Uh, I'd say there's a good, like, solid 5 or 6 seconds of cursing for a minute there.
We, of
before.
course, bleep it out for our television show.
Yeah, it's definitely not because I'm just not creative with my cursing. Not at all. Uh, but there's definitely a few things that most people would probably think were curse words, but are probably actually like the Latin names of different deep sea creatures or something. It's a form of studying, you know. But they visibly like still and like take a deep breath and pause to actually think this through. And okay, breakers move like there's an onside and an offside, and it's the same in every breaker box, everywhere. They were panicking before. Let's try this again. And starting with the 3 that they bumped into before, flip them back the other way.
Yeah, you hear the mini fridge kick on, the fans start going, and the regular lights turn back on. So none of these breakers were your floodlights that you were hoping
Yes,
for.
but the lights are on now.
Mm-hmm.
In theory. I reach and actually turn on the light switch this time so I can see in the box.
And then comes on, yes.
And I am going to do what I hope is the smart thing here. And I'm going to radio Valerie and ask which breaker I need to flip for the floodlights. Which I
Yeah.
really should have done in the first place. Valerie, the rookie huts and
Hmm?
full of rookie shit. The breakers aren't labeled. Do you know which one I need to flip for the lights?
Huh? Oh, let me see. The rookie hut? Shoot, that's the one that's wired to all of them, isn't it? Oh, that's.
Yeah, I figured that out the hard way.
Yeah, listen, that's understandable. Don't worry about. I mean, Samson was on it too. All right. Listen, third one on the left should be.
But
Floodlights come on.
Hey, look at that.
thank you.
Whew.
Off the radio, dart back outside, pick up a bullhorn that was definitely not put away
Exactly.
on my way out. And
It has like a name tag on it, like, label maker, where
yeah.
it says Benny the Bullhorn.
Why is this the only thing labeled? Why? And since they're still quite far out from the water where they can see, hopefully now decently clearly, where someone is still swimming away, they're going to. They're not a very fast swimmer, a decently solid one, hesitantly so, but not fast. So instead, they're going to use the bullhorn and their study of marine biology to call out to this guy and basically list off here's all of the different marine biology, like marine life, that comes out specifically at night and why you don't want it near you. Please return to the beach. Please follow the lights back to the beach, which those creatures will avoid. Come
Okay,
back
so
now.
you're trying to convince him to come back by like scaring him out of the water, basically.
Yes.
Okay. This can be a crafty roll
Yes.
because it is convincing. It sounds like you're going to use your perk. So let's move your luck token down by 1 because you're going to use
Yep.
marine biology.
Good luck.
So a d6 to do the thing, a d6 because it matches your key stat. Weirdo. Do you think this helps you here?
I would say yes, because it's basically, I've studied a lot of the creepy stuff, and therefore, like, that's what I know the most about. So if I'm trying to scare someone, I have a plethora of crap I can share.
Okay. I'll allow it. So you're going to roll 3d6.
Watch it not help.
The complexity for saving these people has been a 5, but you've now just got the floodlights on, so it is easier to pinpoint and look. And you are using your perk of your marine biology to lower the difficulty, so it's going to be a 4. You're rolling 3d6, you're trying to hit a 4.
Thank God. 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. All right. It takes a little bit of convincing. What horrifying thing do you yell out through your Benny the Bullhorn that finally gets this man to turn around and come back?
My research professor was talking about how they saw evidence of a kraken living in a sinkhole down near here, and it comes out mainly at night to avoid messing around with the fishermen, and it seems to have developed a taste for human flesh.
You hear he came up just in time from trying to swim underwater to hear the last of it. It seems like it has a taste for human flesh, and then just a garbled and lots of splashing as he starts beelining it for the shore.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And the people who had arrived to start trawling the waters are prevented from doing so. One, kind of by the other rookies here, and two, by hearing you list off everything that could be in the water. It's going to be a bad day for businesses at the beach tomorrow. But for
Not
right
my
now,
problem. Makes my job easier.
your trawlers, your people who have been out here in the water, have all rescinded and huddled together. The group of them. We've got Amy, we've got Elaine, this guy whose name is Nate, and Jeremy, the young man who Samson had convinced. Amy has walked back to the vehicles and has passed out some blankets. They look familiar. That she might have pulled from Samson's van, to be towels for the four of them.
Eddie, as they start walking over, is going to quickly pull their phone out of its little plastic baggie in their lifeguard fanny pack and see if Vanessa ever texted back again after saying, "I'll see you there."
Yeah, you do have a text from Vanessa. And it's a picture of the beach from the parking lot of people having gone in. And the text, Skip keeps talking about, and you guys can hear the radio, it's still going, so you know this, about something being down there. Is that what these people are looking for? Because I'm not buying it.
I'm gonna send back a hurried text just using the swipe texting. So there's definitely a couple cases of there's an extra the in there or something where it just didn't quite make it out because I'm not fully focused on it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know yet. Go home.
Bored.
Go home and watch this on the news then. Turn on America's Next Top Model. You love that shit.
Love to hate on it. And then they just they send you a string of emojis. But at this point, maybe the three of you have all gotten back together. Samson, you start to see that it's your blankets being used as towels by all of these people who just got out of the water. When you hear the group, four of you hear more yelling.
Oh, what now?
Off in the distance, those boats that were coming in earlier, one of them is blinking a flashlight on and off towards the shore where you all are in a clear SOS pattern.
We're getting in the boat, aren't we?
Huh?
Yeah.
That does seem like a good reason to get into a boat.
Eddie doesn't stomp towards where the boat is kept, but there is definitely it's close. It's close. It's the power walk of dread. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Let's sort of okay, you've got a power walk of dread. What feelings, thoughts are you sitting with, Valerie?
Oh, yeah. It was kind of to be expected. There were a lot of boats out there right now. Something had to be going wrong.
For sure. For sure. Another day on the job for you.
Yeah. Night on the job at this point. But
you're right.
Isn't my first night either on the job.
You've done some of these before. And Samson, What are you thinking and feeling with as you guys make your way towards the lifeguard craft?
Honestly, I think he's mostly just worried about leaving his van behind. No, no. I think he's sort of watching the others to see how they're feeling about this, because this is all very, very new to him. And, he signed up this job thinking he was just gonna hang out on a beach and maybe, save a kid from, like, that can't swim or whatever. And this has gotten, in the last like couple of weeks he's been training, this has immediately become very, very, very strange in ways that he never could have predicted. And so he's sort of, whenever these like sort of new situations arise, he's like, especially to like looking to Valerie, just honestly like sort of watching Valerie and like seeing what she does, and then like so almost mimicking the moves and like the way she walks and like the way she's going, and just like, okay, this is how I'm supposed to be acting right now. Got it. We're
Yeah.
working things out. It's
The TV
great.
show left so much out about being a lifeguard.
I know, right? They didn't even cover this. It must have been because it was family friendly, they couldn't get all the nitty gritty stuff. It's not that this is just insane.
Right.
It's just not kid friendly.
Just not kid friendly. This is the TV 17 of lifeguards. But we catch a glimpse of you all slow motion run, partially maybe stomping, unconfirmed, copying movement as we get to the lifeguard craft. Those of you who have spent luck recoup it in this slow motion bit, and we will cut to our next scene. We are back at it. You all have just cinematically ran/stomped to the lifeguard boat that you have down at the southernmost hut tied up to the docks there. It's got a little motor. It's nothing special, but it is bright lifeguard red. We saw all of you in slow motion, muscles rippling, hair flowing, frowns a frowning. Pick which one applies to you. As you get to the lifeguard dinghy here. Who's driving?
I only
That makes
trust them
sense.
so much, okay? I'm very proud of their
Eddie
performance
agrees.
up to now, but I want to be careful, all right? We're about to go out on the water at night.
And probably like Valerie, you might be one of the only people with keys to this boat on your person. There are
Guys,
probably keys in different huts, but
to be fair, it was the rookie cabin. I don't think that, there are keys there, but I'm not sure.
none are labeled. They're in a
Yeah.
pile on the table.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it makes them easy to find, theoretically. You just got to remember the little bumps and grooves, all right? Just holds
You
up an
know
unlabeled
the
key yourself. Look, this one's
you
for
know
the
that
boat. See? It's got the little, like, extra niche there, right?
you know
Yeah.
Can't
the
we
thing
just
that people do where they like put all their keys in like a bowl and then like hotel keys or like like that thing that people do. We do that, but with like the boats. Don't ask about what happens in the rookie hut stays in the rookie hut, okay?
No one
what
can find
happens
it
in the
after it
rookie
goes in
hut?
there.
What happens in the rookie hut is that nothing gets labeled except the bullhorn. Why is nothing else labeled?
He's not just
Why,
a
Samson?
bullhorn, he's my friend. He has a name and you will use it.
Fine, I will use Betty's name if you will also make friends with the different breakers and the keys and the shelves that things go on that are not the floor.
I'll consider it.
That is
This
fair, Samson.
conversation happened as you guys putter out to the boat with the flashlight, about what should and shouldn't be labeled in the rookie hut. Um,
Everything. The answer is everything.
as you guys pull up, a man leans over the side. This is some sort of like houseboat vessel. He goes, we could use some help out here.
What?
I'm Peter. My friends, they went down there, and they're not back up here yet. They had scuba gear. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
They
Oof.
had tanks. They had about enough air for an hour, and they did go down over an hour ago. So a bit of worry. I've got more stuff, but I am not about the water. Could you guys help?
Oh,
Yeah. Being underwater for more than an hour with only an hour of oxygen is a problem. Um,
I
thank you for
thought
letting us
so.
know. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Listen, all right. We'll take
Eddie,
care of it.
Okay. Thank you. Their names are Lori, Marco, and Vince. I don't know how exactly sound works down there. I own the houseboat. But if you can yell their names out,
that's not how sound works down there, but thanks.
I did preface it by saying I didn't know how it works, so
I'm just
I
following up and trying really hard not to think about.
appreciate
Yep,
it.
yep.
I've got
Eddie's
more
face
scuba
is
gear though.
pale.
Hmm.
You guys want to come on board? I can get you guys suited up. I bought a 6-pack off of Amazon.
Man, they got everything over there. Wild.
Hearing that the scuba gear was bought off Amazon just makes Eddie's face drop that little bit further. Not as much as if it had been bought at like Walmart or something, but it's just like, oh no.
Yeah, you guys climb aboard Peter Callahan's houseboat.
Regretfully, yes.
Okay, here's all of the gear, and of course, I bought a 6-pack because the 3 are down there, and I have 3 more, so this works out. I'm glad you guys didn't bring a 4th person. Though a 4th could have helped, maybe, I don't know. I'm not a lifeguard. But you've got your fins and your tanks and your masks. Just don't unplug the tank from your breathing apparatus. Apparently that voids the warranty.
I think there's more reason than just that, but thank you for the warning.
Yeah, yeah. I just listen. They're my
You're
friends,
panic.
and
Yeah, sorry.
I own this houseboat, but I'm not a good swimmer. So you can imagine the stress I am feeling.
Make sure you keep your life vest on and
Thanks. I've only had it for like 4 days. I wanted in a bet. The boat,
definitely
not the life vest.
definitely keep your life vest on.
He like holds on to it tightly. You guys suit up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eddie, this
definitely.
your vibe?
No.
No? Hear me out. You want to stay up here and make sure that that guy doesn't, I don't know.
Get got.
That too. I mean, to be fair, he
Want
doesn't look like
to,
he's going to dive into the water.
yeah. Want to, yes. Most appropriate use of resources, no. Uh, I'll manage. If
All
if
right.
I if I start thinking I'm going to have a panic attack or something, I'll signal and make my way back up. And I've done the trainings. I know I have to do it slowly, depressurization and all that. Uh,
Oh,
I
yeah, that.
studied this. I know how. I just don't like it.
Mm. All
Yeah.
right. Appreciate your effort and putting in your A game. All right.
Appreciate you checking in. I'm gonna try really hard not to think about what we're doing.
Through shaky thumbs up there.
Yes.
This challenge is going to require 6 successes to find your divers.
We got Margot, Lori, and who again?
You
Vince.
have Lori, Marco, and Vince.
Lori,
Hello.
Marco or Margot?
They answer to either. It's a sort of a
Oh.
fluid situation.
Ah.
Hello.
I was trying so hard not to make that joke.
The
Thank you,
whole
Mel.
time.
I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
That's
It's a
what I'm
pity
here
that's
for.
not how sound works underwater. Marco Polo would make life so much easier.
True.
You guys all suit up in fins and tanks and masks, and breathing apparatuses, and Probably one by one, do the little hop, skip, and a jump off of the back of this houseboat into the ocean below. Let's go around the horn. What are each of you doing to try to find divers once you hit the water?
Well, Valerie's just going to be trying to swim around quick as a whip at this point. It's going to be about speed for her. She doesn't really know any other stuff. And once she finds someone, it'll be up to Samson to drag him out because he's the strong
Okay.
I
That sounds so. You are moving pretty quickly. Would you say you were moving cautiously or recklessly?
one. Oh, never caught. No caution. All right.
Recklessly. Got it.
Rash and reckless. All right. This is
Okay.
it.
So this will be an agile roll. With going recklessly, each success will remove 2 effort tokens rather than the typical 1. But each failure will cost you a grit because you're expending a lot to move around as quickly as you are. So, a d6 to do the thing. A d6 because it matches your key stat of agile. And then I would say, veteran, you know what you're doing. You've done the deep water searches before, so a d6 there. Are your perks or quirks coming into play here?
I mean, I am going kind of rash/brash here. I think I think the quirk's coming in, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna punch anybody down here, I assume.
Okay. So if your quirk is coming in, you're going to up your difficulty. But if you succeed, you will gain luck. So this will be a 6. You're rolling 3d6. You need to hit a 6. If you do, you will. Oh my gosh, I'm saying the word 6 so many times. You will get 2 successes on your total 6 you as a group need. Let's do it.
All right. I am gonna regret putting the quirk in there. I got a 6 and 2 5s.
So a 6 is still a success.
If I had not upped it, though, I would have had 3. Oh, whoa, that would have been incredible.
Would have been good. So good news is you are going to remove 2 effort tokens here. I want you to describe to me how you're searching, and I will wrap up that with what you find.
Oh, she's gonna be going down. She's gonna be going a bit unsafely down. She's confident in herself, and I mean, clearly, oxygen deprivation didn't get her anything. No depressurization or pressurization. Whatever. It's not important. We're getting the job done. She is gonna bust out a trusty little flashlight, always ready, and she's gonna start trying to look around, just trying to find somebody or something, depending on the situation.
As you swim deeper, you start to see that there's a bunch of seaweed, sort of a seaweed area of the ocean. And your flashlight's going to glint off of something left in the seaweed down below. As you find what looks to be a bracelet that has come off of someone. But being down there low enough as you're moving your flashlight around, you are going to catch a glimpse of something slightly bigger, but I'm going to hold off on describing it until we've gone around the horn. So you have 2 successes so far. You guys need 6 to find these divers. Let's move to Samson, and then we'll finish up with Eddie here. Samson, how are you looking for divers?
Okay. Are we just sort of like free, like big open water area, or is there like some sort of like land? Underwater land?
Open ocean.
Open ocean, okay.
So you can swim down and eventually hit the seaweed bits that Valerie has found herself in.
My plan was essentially to sort of see if there were any big rocks or anything that might have like fallen on someone or like blocked off like a way to go somewhere. But if we're not quite there yet, I genuinely think he's just trying to shout their names and it's not working. because that's not how sand
I love
works.
Samson. Oh my gosh. Yeah, maybe you're like looking around to see has anything big moved recently, and every once in a while you're taking your breathing apparatus out to yell Marco.
Hello.
Incredible. Okay, so would you say you are swimming cautiously or recklessly?
I think cautiously. Like I said, this is all still quite new to him. He's following Valerie's lead.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, that would be recklessly, but is more or less sort of holding back to see what the others do. And then when he knows what his strength is, and it's strength, it's not planning or, figuring things out and stuff. He is here basically for when we find someone passed out, he can carry them up. So he's holding off until he's needed, basically.
Okay. Swimming cautiously. If you succeed, you'll get 1 success token out of this. A d6 to do the thing. I think swimming in general, unless you're moving something, is like an agile motion, so it doesn't match your key stat. But you are trying to yell out their names, which is a pretty rookie move to do.
Yeah.
And you are, you've got this drive, you're moving around, you're watching what Valerie is doing, you're trying to make a difference. So you got 2d6. You need to hit a 5 on those.
Okay.
You could bump it to a 6 if you use your quirk and regain luck.
I do think the yelling at the names is kind of a naive move, but I don't think I can hit a 6 on 2D. I'm scared what will happen if I don't.
Up to you.
I'm not gonna immediately die, right?
No. There's a voice in your head that's telling you to do it, isn't there?
Yeah. You know what? I'm following in Valerie's footsteps. I'm gonna do it. I think because it's that sort of rookiness of not quite knowing what he's doing, but caring and wanting to help in whatever way makes sense to him, which is yelling their names underwater.
Yeah. 2d6. You're trying to hit a 6.
Okay. That is a 4 and a 6.
You did it. Bump that luck back up as you use your quirk here. I think you've narrowly avoided a collision hitting, you're yelling and you're sort of looking down. You almost hit a bit of Peter Callahan's houseboat underneath, but swim away. Even though you're not really getting anything back from you yelling Marco under the water, you do succeed on seeing something big. Though I'm going to hold off on describing it until we hit our 6. And our camera cuts as we watch just Samson's expression of shock at what you've just seen under the water, and we cut to Eddie.
Eddie takes a moment once in the water to just breathe through their apparatus, obviously. They are definitely swimming cautiously, I will tell you that right now. Shakes their head a little, looking down after Samson seeing the attempts at yelling after they had just been talking with the other guy about this. I warned the wrong person. And they're gonna, similar to Valerie, they're gonna remember they've got some equipment with them. They're gonna pull out their flashlight, and I think they'd also have some glow sticks. I think was discussed in the past as a safety thing they might have in our original one-shot. So, shaking their head at themselves now this time for what they view as littering for all that they're going to try and pick them up after. They're going to do, as they start to slowly descend, be cracking glow sticks and leave them floating above them every so many meters to kind of trail back to where the boat is, as well as they're keeping an eye out for people, but I would say they are more so keeping an eye out for things that might also be interested in people, other creatures. Uh, with
Okay.
where they had just been warning people about what all is out and about in the ocean at night, that is very much at the forefront of their minds, as well as all of the things they didn't include in their warnings about the various eldritch things that are also generally more powerful at night. They know the light is
Absolutely.
a risk, but hopefully it'll drive things away instead of drawing them closer.
So, as you're looking out to spot traces of movements, diver or otherwise,
Yes.
leaving these glow sticks in your wake, let's roll. You're moving cautiously, so if you succeed, you'll get 1 success token. It is a d6 to do the thing. This is crafty. You're trying to specifically track your location and then figure out if you can see anything moving. So a d6 for that. Though you did mention knowing things that are in the water,
Not quite enough for the weirdo.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that helps you. Sounds like it hinders you knowing exactly what could be down here. But maybe in this case, the glow sticks are helpful in putting either distraction, or you could work it that way. I think that might be the only way I'd accept it, is if you're using that weirdo knowledge to protect yourself.
That was the attempts I had in mind. If you'd rather not call it, I'll accept that call without arguing.
We'll keep it. Okay, so 3d6. You do have a pretty important quirk here that I think we have to address for the crowd at home. You want to tell the crowd at home what your quirk is if they haven't guessed?
My quirk that I chose for my lifeguard character is aquaphobic. I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to break the game, and we agreed Eddie had to be able to at least swim confidently. And they just really don't like actually putting their face in the water and going underwater. And yeah, I wasn't even going to try and argue anything I roll down here. I would have to be pretty panicked about something else to overcome that.
Exactly. So your quirk is in play de facto. You're rolling 3d6. You need to hit a 6.
Yeah, I am. Well, I guess I don't have to use luck until after I roll, right? I can use it before or after?
Before or after, yep.
I'm going to see if I'm lucky enough first before I use my actual luck tokens. I am not, but luck would only lower the difficulty by 1.
Correct.
And I cannot meet that, and the others are busy, so they cannot help me. So I will let that stand as, I'm underwater, guys. I don't like this. To be clear, I got a 2, a 2, and a 4. There are no 1s.
Yeah, 2 and a 2 and a 4. This is probably the worst thing you've had to do in a while for this job, maybe outside of the training. And as all of the things you've thought about sort of sink in, I do think you lose a grit, because you are out of your comfort zone. This is not fun. You do not feel good about it.
Eddie is regretting a lot of life choices at this moment in time. And really, really wishing that they hadn't had that last cup of coffee and they could have feasibly been asleep and missed their radio call-in.
As we see you just like trail of glow sticks, you haven't made it deep enough at all to see what the other two are seeing yet.
That's probably for the best.
Probably for the best, as our camera cuts back to Val. Val, you have just cast your eyes upon a shimmering silver exterior of some sort of structure down here in the seaweed underwater.
This is definitely too big to just be another oxygen tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
This is pretty big. I would say it's as big as the houseboat, if not bigger. Disc-shaped, reflective. Seems to be some sort of swirling. You start to feel as you're down here, the current of the water actually could bring you towards it if you aren't resisting.
Well, I mean, I think it's time to go with the flow. You know, I think it's time to play this one out, all right? If I have to fight it, it's probably like, I mean, it sounded like they got this boat like 3 days ago. I don't have complete faith in the previous 3 divers. So I'm gonna go with they might have gotten dragged in by the current. That's Valerie's
Veteran
top
brain.
guess, all right?
Absolutely. Okay, so let's take you there. Are you swimming cautiously or recklessly?
I mean, I'm not really swimming, but I am being very reckless here. I'm going with the
You
current,
are.
which could go anywhere. Let's see.
Yeah. So with this, because it's recklessly, if you succeed, 2 success tokens, bringing you all up to 5 out of your 6. And you need to dodge some seaweed that might slap you in the face, the other detritus down here. So it's going to be an agile roll, a d6 to do the thing, a d6 because it matches your key stat of agile. And I would say you just reasoned it out what might have happened to these people. That's a pretty veteran move. Would you agree?
I'm going to accept it. I don't like once we get I'm assuming this is an alien ship. I'm getting that feeling, but that is also kind of out there. So we're gonna see where this goes. But for now, I'm feeling pretty confident that I've been at this before.
Right on. So you have 3d6. Now following a current isn't as hard as actively searching for people. So you need to hit a 5.
All right. Okay, so I've got a 1, a 4, and a 5. No, there's
Yeah. A
I
5
don't
is a success.
5 is a success. I'm trying to think how I can leverage the perk here, but I don't think it's
Oh, to get 2 successes?
yes. I have
Mm,
been baited once again. But I
I don't
can't
know how
think.
total knockout helps you.
I mean, it's about martial arts,
Are
meditation.
you cutting down? Are you karate chopping the seaweed before it hits your face?
No, I'm trying
You
to go
wax
with the
on, wax
5
offing?
here. No, it's just very much going with the flow, as it were.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any cut like that.
Gotcha.
Sadly.
We see you follow this current and you make your way to this sort of upturned, odd portal situation at the very bottom, like almost to the point where you couldn't have gone any deeper underneath this craft. And you follow it right inside with your success. And we're going to come back to you in just a second as you've made your way inside the structure at the bottom of the ocean. And we're going to find Samson. Samson, you're up there. You're yelling Marco. You're swimming around. Valerie's flashlight goes away underneath you, further out in front of you, as Valerie disappears, drops the flashlight, goes out. You're not sure.
So I was thinking, can I see Eddie kind of not making it through the water as easily as the rest of us for very completely reasonable and understandable reasons? But
I
was
would think
thinking
you could probably see these glow sticks.
Yeah, I was thinking I might like do a little arm loop, if you're okay, and sort of help catch up and, sort of pull along and just I'll offer a bit of support so that way we can all get there. If that works.
I would say that Eddie would startle badly at first, and then upon seeing that it's you, like visibly like deep breath, and then kind of sheepishly allow it. Like They don't want to do this, they don't want to be here, but they acknowledge that it's possible that they'll be able to help with whatever may or may not be happening. And if not,
Awesome.
nowhere to go but up. So
All right. So with Eddie in tow, Samson, are you swimming cautiously or recklessly?
I think definitely cautiously. I was cautious before already, but now especially with Eddie, I want to be real safe.
Makes sense. And are you heading down to where you last saw Valerie?
Yeah, we want to catch up with Valerie, I reckon.
Absolutely. Because you also have seen the structure. So you come up, you grab Eddie, and you go back down. Eddie, soon into focus comes a giant silver disc-shaped structure lodged in the dirt and detritus down here in the seaweed-covered floor. As Samson pulls you ever deeper. For the two of you, for Samson specifically, to bring Eddie down there and then to follow, you're swimming cautiously, but you're towing a person. It's going to be brawny.
Yes. That's what I was going for, thank you.
A d6 to do the thing. A d6, if it matches your key stat, which it does, a brawny challenge for a brawny key stat. And then a d6 if it matches your role. So you have the role of the rookie, youth over experience, you've got drive, vigor, and moves no one's seen before, but you're still going to have to prove yourself to the other lifeguards.
I think that last bit about wanting to prove myself to the other lifeguards, I think is really going to come in here. Of like, I want to prove that I'm part of the team. You know, I'm not just strong on my own. I'm strong to help everyone and get there together.
Okay.
Teamwork.
So 3d6 to bring yourself and Eddie down and follow the same current. You need to hit a 5.
5. I reckon I can do that. Please, 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 please. That is a 1, a 5, and a 6.
Incredible. Our last success tokens
to freak you out there.
have been managed, and crossing that threshold, you two both are going to successfully follow this current through the seaweed. You only get whipped in the face a couple of times, as you two end up at sort of this portal under the center of our silver structure and are pulled through with the current strength to the other side. And our scene changes as you all, one by one, tumble into this new place. From the inside, the strange craft doesn't appear too badly damaged. It is at an angle, and you see immediately that some sort of air pocket has been kept in here. You do not need your tank. It is not waterlogged inside. Whatever film portal current you got pulled into here has kept the water at bay, though it has pulled the three of you in. Taking your breathing apparatuses out, moving goggles if you need to. You see loose wires sparking, broken pipes releasing puffs of purple smoke. Maybe you put your breathing apparatus back on after that, I don't know. And in the middle of what must be the control room that you all have tumbled into, a huge puddle of iridescent ooze covered in shifting and twitching yellow sub-puddles, the way that ink moves in and out of a different liquid into human man wearing diver's gear.
Oh.
Do the creatures look menacing and dangerous? Wait, did they hurt him? I want to punch a creature. I want to punch it.
Oh, Samson. Oh, glad y'all made it down here.
Oh yeah, hi. Is he okay?
Not
Hi, are you
quite
okay?
sure. Oh,
sorry.
no, go ahead. I mean, you're pretty clever on this stuff. You seen anything like this in your books or whatever?
Okay. Thanks to Samson, I got down here. Not
Good job.
exactly. Hi? Are you okay? Seems like the easiest way to check, right?
As you call out to the man,
Good idea.
at first you all hear nothing but the sparking and the puffs of your surroundings. And then he starts to groan.
Oh,
I think that's a
At
no.
least he's alive.
hey, yeah, he's breathing and
And
stuff. There were
there's-
3 of them, though, so that's kind of concerning.
Is the man still in it? You said he's still in his diving gear. Does he still have his breathing apparatus in?
No, it seems that he's taken goggles, breathing apparatus, scuba mask. Like, you can see his full head. He has taken all of that stuff off.
Moving very carefully through the room, trying to avoid getting too close to anything that's sparking. For all that there's no water inside the ship, we are all still very wet. And probably reaching into the fanny pack for some like medical masks and like unwrapping them and putting one on around their face and gesturing for the others to do the same. Don't want to waste the oxygen tanks down here, but don't know what that smoke is. Eddie is going to cautiously approach the man and try and get a better read on, like, does he look like, does he seem like he's responding to stimuli? Are his eyes tracking me getting closer? He's zoned out. Are his eyes open?
His eyes are not open. He doesn't seem to have any recognition that you are close to him. Just every once in a while, you hear a groan and he tries to shift. Those could be involuntary movements.
Well, we're lifeguards, so we're trained in at least some medical, like first aid, first responders type stuff. So Eddie is going to pull on a pair of gloves in case of any touch-based contaminants, and then reach out and try and start checking vitals.
Yeah. So it sounds like you are applying some knowledge here, some CPR, first aid, AED. You don't have an AED down here, but the
That would be a
acronym
bad idea if we did.
rolls out the mouth when you've been trained. Some first aid here. Because you're doing it
Checking the
rather
pulse.
cautiously and applying this knowledge, this is going to be a crafty roll. D6 to do the thing. A D6 because it matches your key stat, a crafty roll for a crafty key stat. I don't think the weirdo helps you do CPR and first aid.
This would be better for the other two in that case.
So 2d6, and I think to do this, because you have been trained, would be a 4.
Okay. So 1 and a 6.
All right. Takes a little bit. You're trying to avoid all this ooze. And you get him sort of flipped over. He was face down. You get him into recovery position on his side. Check for those sorts of things. And as you start to move him is when you start to get the eyelid flutter. And it seems like this man is coming to.
Can you
as
hear me? Hello? Easy. Take it slow.
He coughs up just water
Oh,
and
thank goodness.
blinks. He goes to try to sit up, and then he really can't.
Wait.
Lori? Vince?
Well, that makes you Marco then, doesn't it?
Hello.
No,
Yes.
in every respect, I'd have really thought you'd be sick of that joke by this point in your life.
You gotta live for it.
I can respect that. I'm Eddie. With me, my colleagues, Valerie and Samson, were lifeguards. Your friend up in the boat signaled us. and send us
Oh,
down after you and
Peter.
your friends. Yes.
Right
And
on.
do you remember what happened?
Um, yeah. He sort of he starts to move and come to a bit more. He'll eventually, with assistance, get up to sitting.
I'll pull out a little like snack size water bottle, so give him some clean water to rinse out
Your
the
fanny pack
taste that's
must
sick.
be giant. It's so big. He
I will reach into Samson's much larger because he's much stronger than me. Fanny. Do either of you have any clean water
Hmm?
on you? Do either?
Yeah, I think so. Reach down. I don't have a very large fanny pack, but I do have 4 of them strapped around me. I'm gonna check the back one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I had one. I must have drank it earlier.
Ah,
Research funk. Here. Get that taste out of your mouth. Take a few sips.
he works on
Pass it
that.
to Marco.
Um. Oh. We came down here and this, and he gestures to all of the ooze, the iridescent ooze, and then the shifting, pulsing yellow ooze that is slowed down, um, even more so. This was some sort of creature, and the with the bat wings, and attacked us, and we sort of all scrambled, and uh, this one got pretty electrocuted, and I fought it off with my fucking tank. And you see his air tank he points it out. It's at the other end of the control room, um, like ripped open. Um,
no.
um, but I got it down. But it packs a punch. You wouldn't think so because it's mostly liquid.
Mm.
But it could solidify that mass real quick.
Do you remember? Did you see which way your friends went?
No, there's like a bunch of different hallways. This place is like a maze. Um, but I don't think they. Oh God, do you think they? There's. He starts to
Ooze.
realize what has happened. There's
Uh,
another one of those, another one of these. He points to the ooze. There are 2 of them when we got jumped.
Hmm.
well, for now, we're going to move you over here, out of the way. Your only job is to rest and recover while we go search for your friends.
No, don't leave me. What if it comes in and
Hmm.
Would you rather come with us, or we will be actively seeking out where the other one is? It is up to you, but we are
uh,
going to possibly be actively going into danger. And I don't
I
know if
don't
you're up
think
for
I
that right now.
can, but I don't want to. I want to be alone.
Valerie, Eddie is going to bow to experience here,
Hmm.
and I'm just going to step away to talk to my friend right here in your eye line, all right? Okay, be right back. I don't know what to do. He's. I assume you've heard everything. It's not like there's
Yeah,
much
yeah.
else
I'm
happening in the
here.
room.
Don't
Like,
worry.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do we do? Should we leave someone with him? Do you want me to take him back up?
I
I
was
don't
gonna
really
say
feel.
taking him back up does seem like a good option now. I think me. Ooh. Hmm.
I don't
Are
feel like
you good?
splitting up is a good idea, especially until we know there's at least one more of those things. But
Yeah.
I didn't want to bring it up with him. There could be more.
I mean, it does seem like there would be. I mean, hey, if we're down half the opposition right now, that'd be good. But oh, right. But yeah, I do think that is being very generous with our situation right now. But I do think getting him out of here is the best option. Valerie's gonna pop off her own oxygen tank. All right. I think we get him hooked up to this, and I'd say take him up there. It'll be the best bet here. Me and Samson are going to hold up here since, no, you're strapping lad, aren't you, Samson? Give him a little elbow there. Thumbs up. Yeah, me and Samson got this down here, all right? Take it slow, especially for him, and make sure that, he's got plenty of time to acclimate. He's clearly in a bad way right now.
I I hate to admit this because I really, really don't want to still be down here. I don't think I would be able to get back down here in time to be of any help if I take him back up, especially
Hmm,
since I am not as strong as Samson and he is not okay. He is going to need help swimming up to the surface.
true. And I do want you down here for your expertise because you're definitely into the books. All right, Samson, how do you feel? Are you ready to step up to the plate, old good chap?
Reporting
Excellent.
as taxi service boss.
And you're a much stronger swimmer than me too, so you might stand a chance of getting back down to help.
I'm
Once he's
here
up
to
there.
help him get up, sir boss ma'am.
All right, here you go. Pass you the oxygen tank. Now,
Okay.
you remember how to hook it up, right?
No.
Well,
That
then,
I
let's
can
go
do.
through that. Oh, you'll get that? All right, perfect. All right, I'll keep an eye out then, all right?
Yeah.
Samson's
'cause-
kind of used to being just standing in like costume department putting things on him. He's never hooked them up in his life.
Yeah. Just because he knows me already now.
Mhm.
Eddie will take the gear over.
Excellent
Okay.
rapport building.
So we've got a plan. You will not be
Okay.
left alone.
Thank you.
See my friend Samson there? Strong guy, yeah?
I don't know.
He's
I guess so. That's the kind of the vibe and confidence and air that I'm getting.
yeah, he's good at that. He's helped me out a few times too. We're going to get you hooked up to this tank. Samson's gonna get you back up to the service and your friend with the boat. And Samson's gonna come back down and join us. Bring whatever's left in the tank back down with him. While me and Valerie keep searching for your friends. All right?
I love the thought of like Eddie giving this very serious talk, and then behind Eddie in the frame, Samson is just like strongman posing the entire time.
Trying.
It's just like, thankfully, Eddie has no idea because I don't know how they would react to that. Because I doubt it's helping.
He's
The
trying to do like
Marco
a cool sort of lean on the wall, like yeah.
incredible. Marco, he thinks it through and he agrees and will get hooked up. Though he is in no shape to really walk over to the entrance.
Yeah. Eddie will get an arm around their shoulder and signal Samson to come over and help. All right.
Yeah, totally. I can give him like a little, under the shoulder. Get him to lean over. I can do that easy.
Gotcha.
Now, I'm not familiar with scuba gear. Does it come with anything that's like able to help like secure people to each other in case of an emergency, where we could like belay hooks or something?
Don't think so.
Yeah,
You mean in your magical fanny pack you don't have some rope?
Shut up.
It's the Amazon
Carabiner or
6-pack.
two?
It's safe to say it's nearly empty except maybe a stray Advil.
Mhm. That and like a single serve packet of SPF 25 sunscreen.
Yeah, real helpful down here.
The two of you have Marco helping him get to this like current portal. Valerie, you're also here in the control room. Whereabouts are you, do you think? Are you helping them along or are you somewhere else?
I'm gonna put trust in my people here. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on the weird little tie-dye puddle going on. as well as just a general all entrances sort of thing.
Yeah, incredible. Okay, so as we see, Valerie is scanning. Typical veteran Valerie Van Buren. Had to get it all in there. Eddie and Samson helping Marco the diver limp towards the exit when an explosion rattles
Ooh.
the structure.
Oh dear.
I need everyone to roll me an agility check real quick to see if you keep your footing. So a d6 to do the thing, a d6 if your key stat is agility, and then another d6 if you think your roll helps you in this moment. You need to hit a 4.
Oh.
I'm vigorous. I've got moves no one's seen before. I can balance.
I got a 6.
Oh, nice. I almost upped your guys' complexity because you were helping Marco, but I didn't. But you still would have
Thank you.
passed.
I got
Especially
a
since I was
1
rolling
and a
1
6.
die.
Okay, both of you succeed.
Oh. 5.
You also succeed. Okay, you all keep your footing as this explosion rattles the ship. Followed quickly by an alarm system of some sort, though it seems to be screaming at an interval that's just outside of the frequency that you all can hear, but you can still feel. You can feel the wall of sound, but you can't hear the pitch. So it just feels like air force hitting you at regular intervals. But you do hear the distinct sound of a very human scream in the hallway jutting off, one of the hallways jutting off from this control room. Suddenly, in the crosshairs of this hallway in the control room, you hear the running footsteps of what hopefully is your 2 other humans, because I don't think oozes have footsteps, as they skid and try to make the turn into the control room area. And as they turn, Lori and Vince clamber in sort of slow motion. The 3 of you sort of turn, holding Marco. Valerie, you're seeing it as Lori and Vince heaving and hoeing. This place is still rattling. The alarms are going off, and slowly into frame down the hallway. A hallway-sized ooze rolls in, pulsing yellow fluid dancing around its outer membrane. And we'll probably stop there for tonight.
No!
Knew it.
How could you? No, I'm on the edge of my seat. Very figuratively. I'm actually leaning back.
I'm on the edge of my seat.
I am on the edge of my seat.
Well, for those of you who played, thank you for playing. For those of you who are watching, thank you for watching. You'll have to come back for part 2 to see if our late night lifeguard shift can outsmart the galactic alien that has crash landed down here beneath Sunset Hills Beach. This is
because you said aliens at the start, and then I immediately forgot that. You could tell me. I'm just embodying Samson.
Samson, you're really playing the role. But thank you for playing. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back shortly.